Hello everybody, welcome to The Love Nest.
Let's do this thing. Well, it happened like this.
You were on top?
So
You're 13, please stop. Go get your mom, ask if this is okay. Hello everybody, welcome to The Love Nest. This is a special episode because this is my first couple I have ever had. No pressure.
get some.
Dun, dun, dun. This is Brittany and Austin, and they are going to introduce themselves to you guys. Welcome.
My name is Austin. This is my wife, Brittany. We're known on YouTube as the Knive Knowles. Knive is a made-up name. It's like a made-up word. We just started saying it one day.
It just means nice.
Yeah, it means, I don't even know what it means anymore.
I like
We don't even
that.
say
I
it.
don't know.
But yeah,
Nice.
so we make YouTube videos and babies.
What?
And we're pretty good at both, so.
Whoa.
Well, they're perfect to have on The Love Nest. We're gonna ask them how they did it, how it was no, we're not.
Well, it happened like this.
You were on top? What?
I don't remember. So
You're 13, please stop. Go get your mom, ask if this is okay. So a surprise element we like to throw on the show, of course, is the love face. You have to answer as
what do we
most
do?
honestly as you can. Pull this
Okay.
question and
Okay, let's see. What's the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you when you were newlywed?
Whoa. So we went down to this lake house with her parents.
I actually don't even. Oh!
Yeah, and it was one of those times where like,
wait,
hey.
y'all were just married.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
been married
really?
like, I don't know, was it? I don't know, it was within the first year, I think. And we went down there and, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, it's fun, we're hanging out with the parents. And then we're
Okay,
like,
but give them the whole. We were at the lake house with my parents. Oh, guess you said that.
right, yeah. And then we decided, let's do this thing.
Okay,
And so we
no,
went
let's
into
set the
our,
mood a little bit. Okay, so it was. It was.
that's usually how it goes down.
Here's the guy's perspective.
What
and then the
happened was,
girls.
what happened was, okay, so it was after dinner and we had, you know, hung out a little bit and my parents were doing their thing and we decided our room was pretty, you know,
We should
swagged
retire
out.
to the
It was
bedroom.
pretty romantic, so we're like, let's go hang out in the bedroom.
Hang
so,
so we're in there, you know, talking about,
Relaxing.
you know, politics and whatnot. And then her mom comes knocking on the door and is like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we're just like,
We're playing Twister, go
what
away.
we're doing? We're married and we're in the other room with the door
problem
closed.
was is that she proceeded to continue to knock.
Yeah,
until
and she
we
was
said
like trying to
something,
get
'cause
us
we
to
were
say
just-
something.
we were
Obviously, you
both
two
just
were
quiet.
knocking loud enough.
So then
I was like, yeah, don't
we
you
pulled
know?
one of
this
these.
thing?
Oh, we're good. So yeah,
Oh,
that was
bless
pretty
your heart.
embarrassing. I'm
It was
glad
really
you remembered
embarrassing.
that.
Oh, of
You were more
course, I'm
embarrassed
scarred
than
for
I.
life.
You were more.
Yeah.
He was more embarrassed than I
That's
was.
so
I wasn't
funny.
Really that
It's pretty ridiculous.
I love it.
Yeah.
I would consider I mean, that's pretty embarrassing, but did you ever tell your parents later? You're like,
I
actually,
totally
we
did
were.
because you were embarrassed to like leave the room. You were like really embarrassed. So I went over.
There was
and told
nothing
my
to
mom.
say. It was
I was
pretty
like,
obvious.
Mom, we were like, you know what? She was like,
Mom,
oh,
we
that's
were-
fine, girl. It's all good.
Mom's like, get it, girl. I need some grandbabies.
Basically, yeah.
Pretty much.
I love it. So it's a good roll into our next subject because I wanted to talk to you guys about, you know, you're married, you've just had a baby. Well, not just. She's 7 months, right?
months, yeah.
We'll insert a picture here. Beautiful family.
Cute baby, right? Yeah.
And I mean, it gets hard after you have a baby to
Or
keep
not so hard.
the intimacy. Just like a little more, you know, to keep like the special connection. And you know, you get busy, you have work, you're taking care of her. It's pretty demanding. How do you guys? Let's talk about advice and tips and
Advice.
tricks that you guys can give couples to keep it spicy after you've had a baby. You know, because you guys still need that time as a couple.
I would definitely say when you first have a child, like don't put pressure on yourself. Like the first couple months are crazy, and the last thing you're thinking about is like, oh, let's get it on. You know, like
Yeah.
at least that's not what we were.
From the girls'
Or maybe you were
perspective.
thinking that.
No.
I was not.
No, yeah,
thinking
definitely
that.
as a guy, yeah, you should probably understand having a baby is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, between you know the physical aspect of it and then just having you know breastfeeding and all that, I breastfed and all that TMI. But yeah, the last thing you're thinking about is getting on. So my advice would be don't put too much pressure on yourself starting out.
Yeah.
I would say from a guy's perspective, just try and do things for your wife or girl or whoever it is. Like, it's weird because like I don't ever think this way, but I guess this whole emotion thing is like, oh, if you do something nice for me, I feel
I
connections.
might want to be
Post-
around
Yeah,
you.
so it's like, you know, do something like, you know, do the dishes or, you know, make the house look nice.
Basically,
The
do chores
little
to get laid.
things, the little things.
Buy her
And that's
chocolate.
like, that's just as good as sex to her in some ways. You know?
Right. It's like her
Like-
emotional love tank is a little
Yeah.
less. Well, something you have to understand about women, men, whoever's
me.
watching this, we're full of hormones, especially after having babies.
Who are you?
I mean,
You know nothing about that.
and so I feel like we go through these extremities, like we literally just birth a human and we lose all this blood and this water and we're feeling terrible about our bodies and our boobs are full of milk.
So true.
And
that is a huge part because it's, I mean, for women, like a big part of intimacy is kind of like what you look like and how you
Feeling
feel.
sexy,
So
yeah.
obviously if you have like this little jiggly belly, it's like you're not gonna be like,
well, it's a connection
Well,
with
you
your like
could.
mind and body.
Yeah,
and it's new to you. You're like, oh, I'm not used to my body looking like this. So
yeah,
it's hard.
That's so true. Yeah. So give yourself time would be one thing, and then I don't know what advice do we have. We haven't
So
even
guys,
figured
if you
it all
want
out.
some, do the dishes.
Do the dishes.
Do the
yeah.
Clean up
dishes.
the house.
You know, it's true. It works.
Yes.
But also, like, I don't know. I feel like we just talk about getting into it a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then life comes up, and we're working too long.
See, what
and-
you're trying to say is we talk about it, and then nothing happens.
So whoa. It's more like the more busy you get going with your life and the kids you have, you're like, okay, I think Friday works for me. Does Thursday night work for you? Can we
Right.
plan that then and
I
there?
have to talk to my lawyer.
I
but
read that in a
we'll see.
magazine though. I read like they were like sometimes you have to schedule it. We're
Yeah.
not to that point yet. We only have one child, but they said like once you have multiple kids, don't feel bad if you have to like schedule intimacy in because it gets busy.
I'm down to schedule. iCal. Let's
He's like,
do
I'm
this.
free
As long
every
as I
night.
get
I mean,
something.
lunch will also work.
Yeah. I mean,
But it
doesn't
makes
take that
sense.
long.
I feel like that's the same thing with like a long distance relationship or like relationships now. You have to have a date night. You have to still have time set aside. And if that needs to be closed door time, it needs to be closed door time, right?
Yeah.
Exactly,
And like
yeah.
for us, we had Adriana, and then I got a job out here, so we moved from Kansas City, Missouri to LA, and we were preparing for that, and it was crazy. And then new jobs, and then
Wait,
babies.
new jobs?
Or like having a new job.
Why they said nude? I'm like,
nude. I do
Speaking
do.
of
well, and then I
intimacy.
have a new job at night.
Right. Yeah. That's
It is
where,
LA.
that's where the money comes
kidding.
from.
sorry, I'm like,
Just kidding.
No, but yeah, so we just had, I
lot
feel
of
like it's been
changes.
crazy
That is
ever
a
since we
lot.
had her.
Yeah.
And then we're just trying to figure it all out.
Yeah,
Make
so
time.
we're still trying to figure it out. We're probably not the best advice givers, but
That's not
I
true.
would definitely
This
say
is
give yourself
great.
time. Husbands help out with the chores, okay? That definitely will give the wife some help. And then, I don't know, try to get date nights. And well, that's been one thing is like trying to get date nights in.
Yeah, one
as
thing
much
we've
as
talked
possible.
about is trying to, just make ourselves go out and leave the kid. You know?
well, you're also in a new area, so then you run into the
Yeah.
problem of like, who can babysit? Who
Yeah.
do we trust? How long do we want to leave her for with
Yeah.
a stranger? Like,
Right.
I mean, that's, you guys have some friends and family out
Yeah,
here.
well, and we
or-
made our brother
Yeah,
move
my brother
here,
moved out,
he
so we're just gonna.
babysits.
You have a live-in babysitter. It's even
Yeah.
better.
Basically.
But then the hard part is like at the end of the day, you know, you're like, okay, she's in bed because she goes to bed at like 7, but then you're tired. You're so tired from like
I know, like
the
that's
whole
usually what
day.
happens,
But then by
babe.
that, no, it really
Red
is.
Bull.
I know.
Get a Red
It
Bull in
I
you.
feel bad for her. Like you do so much, and then
I
you're
do
so
so
tired at the end of
much.
the day.
That is hard though, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like, and I mean, something about like doing laundry and dishes and taking care of the kid. You have like baby barf in your hair and like
Oh, yeah,
laundry detergent,
yeah.
and you're like, yeah, let's get sexy.
Yeah,
like
that's
I
the
don't want
last
to
thing
do
I
that
do.
right now.
Right. I mean, I'm always down for the baby barf sexiness.
It actually turns him
Yeah.
on.
Not what she's into. So
Yeah, it's not always attractive. But.
yeah.
So if you guys could give like your lasting advice with love and being newlyweds and having a baby, keeping it spicy and keeping it going in the relationship, what would you lasting words of love? What would you leave with the audience?
I think you should just be real. I feel like in a lot of relationships, people just try and pretend to be someone that they saw in a movie or something, and they have this idea of what love is. But at the end of the day, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the possessions in the world, but if you're not real with that person, it's not gonna really mean anything.
And then with the whole baby thing, I think just, keeping with the whole theme of being real, keeping it real. It's like we just had a baby, give yourself time, talk about it. You know, I feel like that's been huge for us where there's times where he's thinking one thing and I'm thinking another thing.
You're like, you want to get on?
He's
She's like,
thinking,
And then
let's
it makes
get
it
on,
awkward because I'm all like,
thinking- and I'm
like,
thinking I'm
nah.
tired and I am, milk is falling out of my boobs. I don't want to do
You're like, honey, this is hot.
Yeah, just keep it real, be honest with each other, talk about things. You know, if anything's bothering you, talk about it and just be real. So I don't know if it's good advice or not, but that's
I think
what we
that's
try to make
wonderful.
work.
I think sometimes it's really hard not to watch these great Hollywood produced movies and like, my relationship's not like that. I'm not an awesome mom like this lady, and we like lose that hope. But you got to keep it real. I think being able to laugh at your relationship and find the joy in it is really important. At the end of the day, be like, honey, you smell like barf, but I still love you.
Yeah.
It's really important, especially as newlyweds, you know, with the baby. You guys are doing wonderful.
We're awesome. Yeah,
You guys are
Carly.
awesome.
We're great.
Cool
We're
points.
awesome.
All right, you guys, leave comments and love for these guys below. Make sure you check out their channel. Their daughter is beautiful. I may steal her. Your daughter goes missing.
I believe that's illegal.
You can have her.
Still human.
I should
can have her for a couple
weeks. Leave comments and love. Thank you for stopping by. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next time on The Love Nest. Bye, everybody.
See ya.